Hey guys, Keith from Helvonic Games. I'm on Icarus, I'm on Open World, and I'm doing the mission Advanced Order Stockpile. Quite a tough mission because it's a lot of crafting, a lot of hunting and a lot of baking. I'm just going to give you a few tips about the Arctic Pelt. I arrived to this pod here and it asks for 125 Arctic Pelt. So first of all, the wiki says 150. It's not 150, it's 125. Second thing is there is 0 polar bears spawn in this area. So if you're thinking about getting polar bears for the pelt, you're not going to find it. But there are Arctic moa which spawn and they drop between 2 and 4 Arctic Pelt. But they're quite few and far between. So one of the tips I wanted to give you was bring a knife with the upgrade that gives you additional resources. Now that will probably help speed this bit up. The other option is to go to a different area of the Arctic and find actual polar bears. But the other one I thought of, just as I was about near to completion of this mission, there is actually a glacier nearby. And I'm thinking if you were to put a enzyme extractor on that and start the enzyme extractor and kill all the different waves of animals that comes in, I'm wondering whether polar bears or polar bear cubs may be one of the the spawn waves, which would radically increase the speed at which this mission went, especially the speed at which you collect the Arctic Pelt. Since there's one over there, I'll just go and show you the mower. The other tip I'd like to give is when you bring a knife. I mean, I brought an upgraded titanium knife, and all the skinning you have to do because you're killing, you're surviving at the same time as trying to collect the Arctic Pelt. If you do use the mower method, you're going to need a way to skin them when your knife breaks. So I'd suggest bringing 2 titanium knives if you can, or at least some resources so you can keep repairing. I forgot to do that, so I had to create as you can see, I've had to create a bone knife. But at least with a bone knife, you're going to get resources to be able to fix it. Finally, I would also suggest bringing a lot of ammunition. So in order to just to collect this pelt, if you can do the killing the mower method to collect it, I have used, I've used 57 arrows, and that's while collecting as many arrows as I can as well. I've used about 30 to 40 explosive shotgun shells, because there's the large scorpions, those giant scorpions in the area, and that's the only thing you're going to kill them with quickly. And I've also used around about 50 armor piercing ammunition too. So it's a resource intensive. It really is an endgame mission, to be fair to it. And then of course you've got the Arctic weather to deal with. So the final tip is obviously bring a campfire and bring a bed and set your spawn point here and all that good stuff as usual. So yeah, so it could cost sometimes to get your arrows back. You can't quite grab them because they've gone under the snow, so you do need to skin those to get your arrows back, which again damages your knife. You have to keep repairing it. So I think that's all the tips I'm going to give, and then finally I'm just going to show you what happens when you put the. Even I don't know this, so let's go and put the last of the Arctic Pelt in there. And as you can see, for this particular refrigerated cryopod, you need to put not just the Arctic Pelt, you also need to bring with you 5 bolt action rifles, 200 rifle rounds, 120 buckshot shells, and 50 incendiary rifle rounds, as well as all the ammunition that you want to bring for personal use. So you're going to need a good inventory. You're going to need also another tip is bring a thermos with coffee or a hot drink in it. That'll stop you getting as much frostbite and etc. Typical when I want to try and show you the end of the mission, major storm comes in, but that's what you've got to get used to in these conditions. I'm wearing full composite armour, which is why the exposure isn't quite as bad as it would be. I will start taking damage. I mean, I also have a fully stocked medical satchel with me. But we're just going to put this Arctic Pelt in and
okay,
go.
That's everything. You're good to go.
Alright, so that's map location M, and complete. So I won't bore you with the rest. The other one looks quite simple. If you've got a greenhouse set up with a load of crock pots, you can craft all the stuff required to go into the fruit pies, the vegetable pies, health recovery tonics. You should be able to make these by now. Mine a load of auxite, and the only thing you're gonna have to set up is maybe some advanced fishing traps to get the freshwater fish for the curry. But I think that cargo pod, compared to how hard it was to get that Arctic Pelt, I would say, and craft all them weapons and stuff, this cargo pod is by far the easiest. So I'm not going to actually show that. But just for completeness, you can see that the cargo pod that requires the pelt is in that north area. The cargo pod that requires all the food is in that south area. So I'm now going to head back home, back to the long run back to my camp in order to make all that food. So thanks for watching Hellvornak Games. Hope those tips were helpful, and I'll speak to you again soon.